Welcome to the February 10th, 2020 meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education. We're happy that you are here with us this evening on this wet evening. We've kind of gotten used to it over the last few days, last week, and hope that we don't have quite the rain that we had then. But it's going to be a little bit on the rainy side this week. But we're glad that you're here tonight. And certainly, if the situation presents itself, Dr. Phipps and Dr. Church will deal with the rainy situations like they did the other day. So we feel very confident in that, and safety is, of course, of the utmost importance for our students and staff. Next on the agenda is the invocation for the board, and I'm doing that tonight. And I just kind of want to start out with today, myself and a couple other board members had the opportunity to go to Granite Falls Elementary School, and there was a Chief Petty Officer from the Navy, Henry Aldrich III, who had been in the Persian Gulf area since March the 8th, so he's been there for 11 months. His daughter was not aware that he was going to be there, so we were in the library, and all the third graders were brought in, and they were sitting on the floor, and the librarian was talking to them about, kind of a refresher about checking out books and taking care of books and so forth, and she read a book to them, and she had the young lady up at one of the bookshelves, and he snuck in right behind her. And she turned around and saw him, and it was very, very touching for all of us. He was down on one knee, and she hugged him, oh gosh, what, 3, 4, 5 minutes? She just wouldn't let go. But, we're very proud of him and his service, but certainly of all of our military people here in this country and also around the world. It also reminds me of all the law enforcement and the EMS and all the other people that provide such a vital service for us on a regular basis. We appreciate all that they do as well. We also want to mention this time of year, as you're quite aware, people get colds and the flu and so forth, and we need to be especially careful about that and get our students washing their hands on a regular basis and so forth, and our teachers as well, because we have had a number of teachers that have been sick. So we want to consider and pray for the health of our students as well as our staffs. And also, we're quite aware, too, of the situation with the coronavirus in other parts of the world, much more than here in the States and certainly in China, and that's a devastating situation as it's developing in China. So if you would, just bow with me as we remember our soldiers and our other service personnel, our students, and those that are suffering from the flu and the coronavirus and so forth. You'll bow your head for a moment. Thank you. We'll move on with the agenda, and we have 3 students from Kings Creek. Anderson Weaver, parents are Melissa Weaver and Shane Weaver, and Lauren Greer. She's a 7th grader, as is Anderson, and her parents are Tony and Reggie Greer, and we also have Rylan Greer, 3rd grader, and parents Tony and Reggie Greer. So if you would please stand.
Attention, salute, pledge. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Anderson and Lauren and Ryland, thank you for being here. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, which the board has had opportunity to review. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second?
I second the motion.
Comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have some minutes that we need to approve. The regular session and closed session general account minutes from January 12th, 2020. Do I hear a motion we approve that set of minutes?
I'll make the motion we approve the minutes from January 13th.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Questions or comments? January the 12th?
No, it's the 13th.
13th.
Okay, mine says 12th.
That was an old copy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so January 13th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have we need approval of the open session and closed session minutes, general account from January 30th.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve both sessions of January 30th minutes.
I second that.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And we're moving along with the announcements, and I recognize fellow board member Mrs. Ann Edwards to do some announcements.
It's my pleasure to make announcements on behalf of the board. On February 13th, our board is working with the North Carolina State School Board Association for air training. And we will be having the second of our fifth in a series of trainings that we're doing on February 13th from 8 to 12. Then another thing that's a training opportunity occurs February 17th, and that's where our professionals within our system, our teachers and assistants and central office personnel, will be having a professional development day that day, February 17th. And boys and girls in here, you get to stay home that day while your teachers and others are doing their professional training. That's February 17th. And finally, on February the 25th, one of the things that we as a board look the most forward to is the time we get to walk through our schools and spend times going in and out of classrooms and visiting folks. And since you're here from Gamewell tonight, we have several people from Gamewell with us tonight. We'll be visiting the Gamewell area. We'll go to Gamewell Elementary and Gamewell Middle. We'll follow that up by going to West Caldwell High School, and then one of your feeder schools, the Collettsville School, the K-8 at Collettsville. So that's a day we all look forward to, and I hope we get to see some of you boys and girls that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Edwards. Dr. Phipps.
We have a ministerial alliance that meets once a quarter, and I'll be meeting with that group. It's ministers from a variety of denominations that come together once a quarter. We're meeting on February the 20th. We're going to be viewing the resilience video and have a panel of ministers that will be part of that. On the 17th of March, the Caldwell County Schools is hosting what I'm calling a mental health summit, and this is us reaching out to the school districts around us to find out what others are doing in the area of mental health so that we can work together, combine our efforts, and perhaps learn from one another. And then you've heard us mention this several times, but it's getting closer and closer. The Agriculture Expo, the first one that we've ever put on in Caldwell County, is going to be held on the 27th of March and the 28th. The 27th is an event. Both days will be at the fairgrounds. It's a way for us to try to build the awareness that our students have of agriculture and all the pieces of agriculture that are career opportunities that students may not be aware of. All of our 7th grade students will be participating on the 27th, and then it's open to the community on Saturday the 28th. So we hope you'll put that on your calendar and make it a point to be there for that.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next item on the agenda is the recognitions part of our program. And so the board is going to move down here, and we're going to welcome those students and staff that are being recognized. And Mrs. Libby Brown, Director of Community Relations, will lead us in this.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, board members, and Dr. Phipps. We are delighted to resume our Education Center Art Gallery. We took a break for the Christmas holidays, so it's nice to have a new showing of artwork in the Education Center. And thank you, parents, for being here this evening and showing such a big support for your students in the Caldwell County School System. We are going to call your students one at a time, your children, and they're going to come up and be recognized for their artwork. We're going to start with Baton Elementary School. Jason Tiefteller is the principal, and Jennifer Green is the art teacher. And I'm not sure if they are. We want to come forward and help your artist, your budding artist, as they come before the Board of Education. We're going to start with, and you just want to get one on each end so you can, yeah. Thank you. Hosianne Bobet. And Hosianne is a fourth grader at Baton Elementary School. So, and you can see his beautiful artwork up there. Yeah, very proud of him. Lexi Carswell. Lexi is also a fourth grader. Yay, Lexi! Chloe Ford is a second grader. I'm not sure if Chloe's here this evening, but you can see the beautiful artwork, and we'll make sure we get the certificate to Chloe and her medallion. Abby Mitchell is a first grader, and she made the Education Center Art Gallery. So is Abby here? Hey, Abby. And Anna Warren. Anna is a fifth grader at Baton Elementary School, and she too is part of the Education Center Art Gallery. So Anna, if you want to come forward and get your certificate and medallion. Okay, that's all for Baton Elementary. You want to bring the students in the center, and we'll get a nice picture of the group. Yeah. So parents, feel free to get right there in front and center. Good job. Nice looking group. Let's give them all another big Our next group of artists will come from Gamel Elementary School, and Adrian Dula, the principal, is here, as well as the art teacher, Doug Davis. So if you guys would like to come forward, help your students as they get recognition. And we will begin with Kate Bowman. And Kate is a fifth grader at Gamel Elementary School. Congratulations, Kate. Chloe Greer, a fifth grader, and Taylor McCall, a fifth grader. I think they're not here this evening, so we'll give those to the principal, Mrs. Dula. Okay, and our next student is a third grader at Gamel Elementary School, Kalia Sitapon. So Kalia is a third grader. And we have a fourth grader from Gamel Elementary School, and our fourth grader artwork, you can see there the three apples, that's Savannah Witt. So Savannah's here this evening. So Savannah, if you want to come forward. These are our students from Gamewell Elementary School. So let's get a picture.
Okay, y'all want to come on down this way, moving in the middle here? Hold your certificate up.
Thank you, congratulations. And then we have Gamewell Middle School. So we're going to look at some middle school artwork. And we'll start with Joseph Castro. And Joseph is in the 8th grade at Gamewell Middle School. Congratulations. Monica Martin and Janet Roman are also here. If you guys, I know you don't have to escort them around, but come on up with your students because I know you're proud of them. So if you want to get on the bookends here, Monica Martin, principal, and Janet Roman, the art teacher. Janet's making her way up. Our next student is Mia Dean, and Mia is an 8th grader. You can see her giraffe. Maisie Forehand. Maisie has a big crowd here tonight, and Maisie is a 7th grader. So congratulations to Maisie. Riley Green is an 8th grader. I don't think Riley could be here this evening. Is that correct? Okay. And our last student to be recognized this evening is Kira Martin. And Kira Martin is an 8th grader. And look at this beautiful art piece. That's unbelievable. So we're very proud of you. If you want to get right here in the center, we'll get pictures. Congratulations, we're so proud of you. Okay, our next recognition will be about the Spelling Bee winners. And I know you were here a couple of weeks ago to celebrate excellent spellers in the Caldwell County school system. Each middle school in the district sends its champion speller, and they vie for the district-wide championship. And we'd like to recognize our district winner and the top 3 contenders for that competition. So we are actually going to start with our winner, and we're going to keep all 3 of them up there. Well, actually, it's 4 winners because we had a tie, but 3 are here this evening. We're going to start with our winner. Eli Clark is a 7th grader at Happy Valley School, the winner of the Caldwell County Schools Spelling Bee competition. So, guess what? We can have him back again next year. So, we're excited for him. And Eli's principal, Adam Windmiller, is here. Proudly, come on up, Adam, because we know that you are behind these winners and supporting them all the way. Eli was awarded $100 and a trophy by the Education Foundation of Caldwell County. There was a tie for 2nd place, and that's from Hudson Middle School, and that's Rebelina Snyder and Savannah Dickerson. And I think Savannah is here this evening. She is a 7th grader at Hudson Middle School, so congratulations. It's unusual that we would have a tie, but I think you had tie winners at the school, and then they came in second for the district. And then in third place, our third place finisher is Jacob Steelwill of Oak Hill School. He won $35 and a trophy, and Mr. Chris Ackerman is here with him and his dad. And Katie, do you want to come up with your student from Hudson Middle School? So we like to have our principals with you because they are so proud of your accomplishments. It's very exciting. Oh, yes. The winner will represent us. The winner will represent Caldwell County Schools in the 80th Annual Winston-Salem Journal Regional Spelling Bee in March. So we know what you're doing in your off time, Eli. I think you might be studying words. So let's give these guys another round. Good luck, Eli, and congratulations to all of you. And we're very appreciative to the Education Foundation. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move into the business meeting. It might be an appropriate time if you need to leave for some reason, but you're welcome to stay around for our business meeting. Thank you, and be careful going home.
I don't know.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Be safe.
I had a neighbor one time that won from Ashland. That was
Okay, we'll continue on with our meeting. Next on the agenda is public comment, and as of this afternoon, we had not received any public comments, so we'll move along, and I'll recognize at this point Associate Superintendent Dr. Bill Griffin.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Branch, members of the board, Dr. Phipps, I have before us this evening, Subject A, Human Resources, usual and customary informational items. These items are simply for your information and do not need action at this time. Do have Human Resources Service usual and customary action items, contracts. I respectfully request approval of those items as presented at this time, please.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the usual and customary action items, contracts, as presented by Dr. Griffin?
Make a
Chairman
motion to
Pennell.
approve the contracts as presented by Dr. Griffin.
Second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Great, thank you very much. Subject C, Human Resources, usual and customary action items, our substitute list. I respectfully request permission to move forward with those substitutes as presented this evening.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the usual and customary action items as it relates to substitutes? Is there a motion to that effect?
I move that we approve the substitute list as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, Subject D, our February board transfers for 2019, 2020. I respectfully request that those transfers be approved this evening.
Okay, do I hear a motion we approve the February board transfers for the school year 2019, 2020 as presented by Dr. Griffin?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve February board transfers for 2019 and 20 as presented.
Second?
Second
Anyone?
motion.
We got a second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Next item on the agenda is our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
Item 7A is with respect to a board policy that I'm requesting be allowed to be put up for 1 month comment. This will be crowdfunding on behalf of the school system. Policy number is 7360/8225. Again, respectfully request that this be allowed to be put up for a 1 month comment period.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we place the policy 7360/8225 for a 1 month comment period?
I move that we place the crowdfunding policy on 1 month comment period.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions about that? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
7B is another school board policy revision that we get from the School Board Association. This is policy 7240, drug-free and alcohol-free workplace. Again, I would respectfully request that this be put up for a 1 month comment period.
Okay, we have board policy 7240, drug-free and alcohol-free workplace, asking that that policy be placed on a 1 month comment period. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to place board policy 7240, drug-free and alcohol-free workplace on a 1 month comment period.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Item 7C is actual board adoption. These are two policies that have been up for 30 days. The first one is the use of personal technology to conduct school business, policy 3228 and 7323. And then the second policy is use of unmanned aircraft drones, policy 4334, 5035, and 7345. And before you vote on that, I wanted to remind you that the drones policy may come back for some edits as the FAA has taken up this topic, but this is what we have as a recommended policy from the School Board Association at this time.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the policy, new adoption, use of personal technology to conduct school business, 3228, 7323, and use of unmanned aircraft drones, policy 4334, 5035, 7345. And this is for approval. Do I hear a motion that we approve those two policies?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the two policies that have herein been named as we peruse these and make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any comments or any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Item 7D is the 2020-2021 calendar. We'd like to present this for approval tonight. I do want to draw your attention to an edit that was made from the copy of the calendar that you received late last week. We've moved a planning day that was originally scheduled on February the 15th over to where an early release date was on March the 12th. And the reason for that is to have a planning day at the end of the first, second, and third 9 weeks. So you see that reflected on the 16th of October, and then you have one at the end of December before our break, and then you have one in March. And that would allow us to have a more balanced semester for semester 1 and 2. Those are the only changes that are there. And that early release day has been removed. The only two early release days that we would have in the schedule would be the day of Christmas break and then the last day of school.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the calendar for 2021 as you have in front of you, as has been presented by Dr. Phipps?
I move that we approve the traditional calendar as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
When is graduation?
It would fall on the 29th of May.
Thank you.
And I assume there'll be another calendar coming?
Yes.
For the early and middle college, early college in
Applied Science.
CASA. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Motion passes. Next, do I hear a motion that the board go into closed session?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we move into closed session to discuss confidential personnel matters as listed on our current agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion carries. And we're going to be in closed session. I don't assume there'll be any action that I'll come in. So we will return.
Will this be on the website?
We will.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Destin.
Hey, Dave.
Good to